Good morning. Or, I guess, your respective appropriate time frame. I think it's time for me to go murder some deacons. This is one of the easiest boss battles in the game. And yet, it also has the most NPC summons, as far as I know. Which makes very little sense to me. That's a weird correlation to have. This is basically the Royal Rat Authority of Dark Souls 3. Meaning, it's more of a don't get overwhelmed than a weird, difficult pattern fight. You'll see what I mean. I'm debating between actually fighting the guys in the area or not. Also, I should probably take that off. I mean, considering all you get from fighting these guys is souls. And sometimes their weapon. So depending on how often you've talked to the NPCs, Henri and Horace, you can actually get both of them for this fight. See? There's Henri, there's Horace. It's typically a good idea to summon any NPCs that you actually are going to talk to, because that progresses their storyline. Like, if you were only to bring in Henri and not Horace, that would progress the storyline separately. Or if you just get Horace. But if you get them both, it progresses it also. So, this is probably the least necessary boss fight to summon for, but I like to progress storylines. So the aim of the game is fight the bouncing fireball. Only killing the one that has the fireball in it will make the total deacons take damage. You can backstab each one of these people. The main concerns are they have fireball attacks, and the larger ones have an AoE push that you just saw right there. Their main focus is typically just to take the crowd control off of you rather than dealing damage to the boss. And if you kill them, they infinitely respawn, all of these guys. If they're not respawning directly in front of you, they're respawning on the back side of the thingy, whatever you'd call this. It's like a catacomb, something. I'm not sure. Monument. Once you get them to about half, phase 2 comes out, which is this guy. This guy is the head deacon. He also has basically the negative version of a spirit bomb. So he puts his hands up to gain everybody else's energy to charge his attack. And it's a giant curse ball. And if you don't have curse resistance, it will probably kill you in one hit. So you're actually best off just hammering away at him, making him annoyed, because every now and again he'll just start casting the nothing at you if it doesn't charge fully. There is something to be said for just murdering the enemies around him just to murder them so they're not there. But yeah, probably one of the simpler boss fights. I don't know if it's considered cheap to, you know, summon the NPCs for it, but since it's one of the easier boss fights anyway, I figure I might as well progress the storyline. Also, if you sit, the head deacon's stuff will drop. And get his clothes. Sometimes you get his candle. I think that's it for this area. The main reason that you even fight these guys, which seem kind of weird, is because if you talk to Henri in Firelink, she says she was looking, or he says, depending on your main character's gender, they say they were looking for Aldrich of the Deep, the Lord of Cinder. They went to his coffin, and it was empty. And then they found a doll that told them that he was in... I don't remember where they said he was, but I think it was said something along the lines of through the Boreal Valley, which is true. And the way that you get through the Boreal Valley is you have to get this small doll, which you get off of the deacons. Now we're headed towards the Boreal Valley. But first, we actually have to go to the prerequisite area so that we are even able to get to the Boreal Valley, which is Farenkeep, aka the Poison Woods. Sorry for the jump cut. There was a loud truck outside, and I took the opportunity to level up, since I had spare souls too anyway. As I was going to say, this area is obnoxious to travel through, because there is poison on the floor. I have not found any shoes that will make it so you are unable to take poison damage, unlike some areas where you can actually reduce other types of buildup. There are, however, quite a few useful items. If you take a left and run all the way down there, there is a coal guarded by a dark wraith. If you run straight back from here, there is a great sword. Actually, I'll probably just go ahead and get him. This is just on the outskirts of the Crucifixion Woods, as you may be able to tell. Lots of crucified goat carcasses. Prism stones for marking paths, relatively useless. Although if you drop one of them into Pickle Pea's nest, you'll get a Twinkling Titanite, but you only get one per run. There is also a sub-objective about this place, which is following those fire paths so that you are able to get so that you're able to get to the next area. That is the Dark Wraith right over there. I have no purple moss clumps. This is your fault. Ideally, you want to kill this guy, and I'm probably going to kill him anyway because he has a chance to drop that sword, and I very much enjoy that sword. If I get it, I will be using it for the remainder of the run. If I don't, I'm not going to farm for it because it's too much of a hassle. Pretty useful coal. Oh no, that's a grab which acts as a lifesteal. I would highly recommend you don't get grabbed by that. Pretty much do anything you can to avoid getting grabbed by that. Nope. Oh, bad damage. Gotcha. They have a guaranteed chance to drop cracked red eye orbs. They also drop their entire set in clothing, and they have a rare chance to drop their sword. At least it feels rare. I don't know if it's any rarer than any of their clothes. This is another one of those areas that I very much don't like spending time in. Mostly because of the poison. I could probably put on a poison resistance ring, but I don't think I have one. Actually, I do. Okay. Let's see how much that actually mitigates things. Also, once you're actually already ooh, an Estus shard. Forgot about that. Once you're actually already poisoned, there's no downside to wading through poison. So you might as well take your time to get through places until the countdown timer runs out, and then hurry and get back to dry land. The swamp sucks so much. So those of you who are trying to look for the great sword, it's right here. Pretty good sword. Way lower strength requirement than in previous games. Pretty decent damage. Scaling is... it's alright. It's not great. It's more into what the sword's ethos than it is into actually wielding it. If you want a good two-handing sword, or a good, like, large sword, you want the Fume Sword, which I will be getting later once we are in the appropriate area to do so. I should go up this path. Yeah, the poison ring mitigated nearly no poison. I'm sure it delayed it by a few ticks, but it seemed practically useless. I'm going to die a couple of times here, I can guarantee it. So your main goal, it doesn't ever explain this, unless you talk to Hawkeye, I believe, is to put out these 3 flames around the area. Once you get the first one, obviously you get the idea to get the rest of them. The main problem is probably finding them, but they are in a semicircle around the outer perimeter of the map. And in the center there is another bonfire, which I want to go to show a couple things off. And also to fight a thing. Although I will probably cut this part at the next bonfire so that I can isolate the boss battle. No, 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 no. Please don't kill me. I don't appreciate it when you touch me there. Last time I went through this area, I spent a half hour looking for this bonfire. And now I found it without even really trying. At least, I think I did. I just have to get up here and get it now. Come on, roll faster. Just a little bit of energy. Oh. Remind me never to sing. My voice is horrendous. Fantabular. Let's see if there's any more items laying around here. Alright, I'm going to cut this episode here. And take a short break so that I may visit the store.